Hey yo, it's old Jesse. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna read a little bit out of Proverbs, chapter 23, verses uh 20 to 22. Well, a little bit more than that, maybe. Um, from 19 to 22. Um, and and I'm gonna go ahead and read that, and then I'm gonna give some personal advice from my own experiences, and I want you to think about it because these are simple moral things that maybe maybe we ought to think about more in this day and age. Hear thou, my son, and be wise, and guide thy heart in the way. Be not among wine-bibbers, among riotous eaters of flesh, for the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty, and drowsiness shall clothe a man with rags. Hearken unto thy father that begat thee, and despise not thy mother when she is old. Okay, so from personal experience, I do a fair amount of drinking. I've got I've got I've got pretty bad depression from life circumstance and personal problems and mental struggles that I've been struggling through. And I'm not doing good. Been looking for work for a while, can't find it. So I went to drinking, and I drink wine because sweet wine doesn't give me a hangover. Okay, so am I among wine bibbers? Yeah. Am I poor? Yeah. That's not good. Um, it just makes you groggy and slow in the morning, and it wastes a little bit of money, and over time it makes you dumb. I don't drink every day, but it's often enough that, you know, when things get bad, I just kind of, that's what I go to. It's not a good thing. Um, and then riotous eaters of flesh and gluttony. In my experience, folks that eat too much generally can't get out in the yard and work. Um, that's a thing that I don't really think I have a personal problem with. Like that's not something that I do. Um, and like you might want to go somewhere and do the buffet thing or whatever, once in a while. I don't know. And and but if you think about it, there's more than one type of gluttony. You've got the type of gluttony that just eats a lot of food, like a lot of it, and that costs a lot of money, and it slows them down, and then they don't want to work, and then they get sleepy from eating too much, and all that. And then you have the other type that spends an extraordinary amount of money on food, just extraordinary. And so they're intentionally wasting money on very, very, very expensive food, very high quality food. And that's something that's like, all right, well that's also a form of gluttony. Do those things make a person poor? Yes. Does it make a person happy? Yeah, sometimes. Is it a way of coping with things like depression? Yes, it is. Most often the case. That's what that is. And then, come to poverty and drowsiness. Well, I mean, both things make you sleep. If you're sleeping more, what are you doing? You're not working. You're not being productive. Okay? And if you have depression, being productive cures depression. Now, you might be sad while you're working, but it puts your body in a physiological mode of doing things that is better than what you were before. It changes your personal chemistry and the way your brain works and the way your organs work, so that it will be more productive and you will have a nicer state of mind. And so think about that. Proverbs was written by Solomon, and Solomon was given a lot of wisdom by Yahweh He, but at the end of his days, he did not follow Yahweh He perfectly in his heart. And so it's something to think about, that like we need to follow Yahweh He perfectly in our hearts, and to walk upright and to be honorable and good before both God and man. And so if we're doing what's right, and we're getting out there and we're working a little bit, and we're not drinking, and we're not overeating, and we're not sleeping because, well, life is depressing and all that stuff, then we're going to be more productive, we're going to be more capable, we're going to be able to do good things for ourselves, and that is going to create a bigger impact on our lives than just drinking because we're depressed, and eating because we're depressed. So, and then the last verse: hearken unto thy father that begat thee, and despise not thy mother when she is old. Well, I've got paranoia, and I've got problems, okay? I have tried to listen to my parents in the past, and I'm not going to say that all parents give good advice, because a lot of them don't. But if your mama tells you to quit smoking or quit drinking, or you need a better job, well, she's your mama. You probably ought to listen a little bit, you know? And, don't despise them when they get old and crotchety and can't move around and can't do nothing no more. Like, that's what old folks do. You take care of them, try to make their lives better, even if your life isn't good. Because sometimes what you need to know, what everybody needs to know, is that caring for other human beings, loving them, even if they're old and crotchety and grumpy and mad at you for stuff you've done in the past, or maybe you don't got good relationships, but caring for other human beings is part of how we function as wholesome individuals in society. And it makes depression go away. It makes bad thoughts, well, maybe not, if you're having an argument with an old person. But taking care of them is good for us. And old folks need the younger generations for their own mental health too, not just their children's age, but their grandchildren and great grandchildren. Older folks need to be with their great grandchildren and their grandchildren, and it's good for their mental health. It helps stave off late age diseases and problems, and so I think that's something to consider. Is read through the Proverbs when you get a chance, and think about it, and consider what you do before you do it. Yeah. And try to limit these things that are immoral but don't seem bad. Like, alcohol doesn't seem bad until you're a raging drunk and get in the car and you drive too fast and whatever, mess something up, or you get drunk and you go outside to do some yard work and you hurt yourself, or you get drunk and then you're at a bar and you cheat on your wife or something, or girlfriend, and okay, yep, it don't seem bad if you're by yourself and just drinking a little bit and then you go to sleep. That don't seem bad. But when you drink too much and then you start doing the other stupid stuff, then it gets bad. And eating a little bit of food, that don't seem too bad. Let's get a bunch of steak or something like that, and do us a big old barbecue, and that's all right until you start getting fat and you can't bend over and tie your shoes, or you get that second roll under your chin like I got sometimes, and you don't want to see your own face, and that's why you grow a beard, or you get too big and your husband's kind of looking at you like, honey, you're a little dumpy, or you get so fat that you can't even get up off the couch or out of bed, and that's bad. That's really, really bad. So think about these things, because I can tell you, in the last year of my problems, and I've had problems this last year, I lost my chance to see my kids, at least until I go back to court again. And I've done a fair amount of drinking and eating and sleeping to try to stave off depression, but it hasn't helped with the money problems. And the money problems are what's causing the depression, okay? So if you don't have work, you get depressed, the smartest thing to do is go make work for yourself. Go out there and work in the yard and make your own situation better. Clean your bedroom, and go door to door, knock on your neighbor's door and ask them if there's anything you can do for them. Even if you're not making money, it's better to get out there and do something. Do something. Or go fishing, go hunting, get a vegetable garden if you don't got a job. Do something. Go, if you have to, go out there and go forage groceries or whatever, or at least get online and ask for government assistance or whatever you got to do. Like, do something valuable with your life. And if you're stuck in a small town and you don't have a car, all you're doing is laying around and eating and drinking, get out and walk to the next town to go get a job, because it doesn't take but maybe a day to go, 20 miles walking on with your own 2 feet. But if you stay where you are and there's no opportunity, and you don't feel that the effort that you're putting in is valuable, you need to make good changes in your life. Good changes. And that I would have to say is very important. That's about all I've got for this morning. I just wanted you to think about that. So, anyway, if you like what I had to say, subscribe, give me the old thumbs up, and yeah, all right, y'all have a good one.